Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to part 11 of What If Tsunade was Naruto mother. But before we start, I just posted a new episode of What If Naruto was the next stage of Six Path on my second channel, so go ahead and enjoy. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Turn on that bell notification after you click that red subscribe button. Yes, new viewer, I am talking to you. This is the first time you're hearing my voice. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family. Turn on bell notifications, stay posted. And guys, after this I'm going to be posting What If Naruto was trained to be a mercenary. So enjoy that as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. So, the last time we left off, Naruto returned back to Konoha after the time skip, as it was time for him to become a ninja and train and learn how to use his Mokiton ability better. He came back to the village and defeated a bunch of thugs who were messing with Amy, the Ichiraku ramen man daughter. As Naruto protected her, they gave him free ramen and Naruto loved that. We then had a time skip, just by a couple of hours, as Naruto attended the academy. Sarutobi also told the council about Naruto and that he is a Senju, but Sarutobi do not know about Naruto Mokiton ability because Tsunade and Jiraiya decided not to tell him so that he wouldn't cause any more trouble for him, and Sarutobi didn't reveal that Naruto was the son of Minato, only that he was a son of Tsunade Senju and he was the heir of the Senju clan. So Naruto was praised in the village. People didn't hate him. Well, in fact, they loved him. Naruto attended the academy as he passed the first test with ease, surprising everyone. But they weren't that shocked because they know that he's a Senju. His mother is one of the legendary Sanins. They know that he must be powerful. So the last thing we left off with was when Naruto was going to fight Kiba in the Taijutsu battle. So let's continue on with the story. Naruto and Kiba was on the fighting platform, ready to start their battle. I don't care if you're the son of a Sanin and a member of the Senju clan. I am going to beat you, said Kiba. Big talk. Let me see what you're really capable of. As Iruka yelled begin, Kiba charged at Naruto. As he blinked, Naruto vanished out of sight, as he then dropped to his knees as he felt like he was going to throw up the breakfast that he ate this morning. As he looked down to see Naruto's fist in his stomach. How did you do that? Said Kiba, as he could barely say the words because of the pain. Naruto then got on his feet and looked at Kiba, who was now on the ground holding his stomach in pain. How did I do that, you ask? Well, simple. When Iruka sensei told us to begin, I saw an opening and you left yourself wide open. It was just begging me to attack. So that is how I did it. Naruto then left the platform as Mizuki went over to check on Kiba. As Naruto was leaving the platform, many students were staring at him as they knew that Kiba wasn't a wimp when it come to Taijutsu battle, but yet Naruto beat him in seconds. Did you see that? Said one student. He just disappeared and appeared and hit Kiba and he was out, said another student. He is good. The murmuring and the muttered start. Well, come on. He's the son of Tsunade and a Senju, and she is one of the legendary Sanin, said a female student. Naruto ignored the students' stares and comment, even though he hated them. He didn't like to be put in the spotlight, but if he talked or said anything, he knew that would just bring more questions, and he really did not feel like to go into that. As he was not paying attention, if he would notice that some of the fangirls from Sasuke are going over and forming another fangirl for Naruto. As now, the fangirl club of the Senju Naruto was born, causing trouble for Naruto as well as Hinata in the future because she was the only one that talked to him, and they did not like how friendly she was with their Naruto. At the same time, Iruka was watching Naruto with amazement as he could barely see Naruto. Naruto vanish and take down Kiba with one hit. Incredible. To be so strong at a young age like that. Well, that's a senju for you, said Iruka in his thoughts. So, it seems like you're strong, Sasuke thought, as he watched Naruto talk to Hinata. As he started to look over Naruto with his calculating eyes and watching Naruto's movements. You just might be worthy of fighting the greatest Uchiha for me to test myself against a Senju. Soon after the Taijutsu test, Iruka told the class that they will have a 1-hour lunch break and then they will have a Ninjutsu test. When Iruka said that, Naruto turned to Hinata. Hey Hinata, will you like to have lunch with me? As I don't know many people here and it would be nice to have company while having lunch. You actually want to have lunch with me? She asked nervously, as she did not think that Naruto would think that she would worth having lunch with, because she saw all of the other girls forming a fan club like how they did Sasuke. She thought that he would want to have lunch with them. As Naruto then broke her thought, yeah, why not? We're friends, aren't we? Naruto asked. Friends? Said Hinata. As she did not have friends, most likely her only younger sister, because most of the students thought that she would not talk to them because of the clan that she came from, thinking that they wouldn't be worthy enough to talk to her. Because the Hyugas took a high standards. Not to mention, most of the students thought that she was weird because she hardly ever spoke. She always stuttered and never looked someone in the face. She always looked down when speaking to someone. Don't worry, we are, said Naruto as he took her hand, making her turn bright red as he led her to a bench nearby. For the next hour or so, Naruto and Hinata talk about different things. Well, technically, Naruto talked and Hinata stuttered. She talked about the different things in Konoha and a bit of her clan. Naruto told her about his travels. Not really too much information, but he just told her things that were not going to really reveal anything too suspicious about him. As the two talked, they were also being watched by the new former Naruto fan club, as many of the girls were jealous at the fact that Hinata got to eat lunch alone with their Naruto. Many of the girls wanted to go over there and break up the two while they spent time with their Naruto. But the smarter members of the club convinced them not to, because Naruto might resent them and hate them for doing that. Besides, spying on him and listening to what Naruto talked about was a good insight to get to know more about him. When lunchtime was up, Naruto and Hinata went back to the classroom as the students were doing the part of the Ninjutsu exam. As for the next 2 hours, all the students went in a small room with Iruka and Mizuki in there, asking the students to perform basic ninjutsu. As if they do all three, they will pass the exam. But if they fail, they will repeat and start the year over. Naruto watched students came out of the room with headband, while others came out with disappointing faces. As Naruto saw Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Shino, Hinata, and much to his surprise, Ino and Sakura, he realized that the both of them were the biggest fangirls in the class. When it comes to Sasuke, he thought they will be weak when it comes to ninjutsu. When he saw them put the headbands on their head, he just shook his head as he realized that this test must really be pathetic for those two to pass. Eventually Naruto's turn came up as Sasuke came out of the room right after him with a Konoha headband on his head, causing the girls to scream out. After Naruto's name was called by Iruka, Naruto got out of his seat as he went over as Hinata wished him luck. "Good luck, Naruto." "Thank you, Hinata," said Naruto as he entered the room as Iruka and Mizuki were behind a big desk. "Alright Naruto, to pass this exam, you need to complete these 3 techniques. The transformation jutsu, the body replacement technique, and the clone technique. Once you complete, you will pass and officially become a Konoha ninja," Iruka said as Naruto nodded in understanding. Naruto then did a transformation jutsu as he turned into Iruka, as he then did a clone jutsu as he created a perfect copy of himself. He then dispelled the clone and did the replacement jutsu with a broomstick that was behind Iruka and Mizuki. "Very good, Naruto, that was perfect," said Iruka as he handed Naruto a headband, who took it gratefully as he walked out of the room with a smile on his face as he wrapped it around his head. As the class saw Naruto coming out of the room with his new headband on his head, the newly formed Naruto fangirl group started to scream and cheer for him and saying that he was the best. Naruto just nodded his politely thanks to them as he went over and sit next to Hinata as she was smiling at him. When Iruka finished, he came out of the room and posted up a chart with all of the scores as both Naruto and Sasuke tied. But since Sasuke was at the academy for 4 years, he would be the rookie, as the title was given to the student with the highest grade that was handed out to him while he was in the academy. Unfortunately, Naruto was the dead last of the class due to the only grade they had for him was the exam grade. Naruto shrugged his shoulder as he didn't care about things like dead last or rookie of the year. That didn't really care for him. That doesn't do anything for him in the real world. And he was actually glad that he got that title. That showed that Iruka wasn't treating him special because he was a senju and the son of Tsunade. If he had gotten the title of the Rookie of the Year, he would have refused it because he knew that would have happened just because he was a senju, because he didn't even go to the academy. When Kiba heard that Naruto was the dead last, he started to cheer as he was happy, as he started to laugh and point at Naruto. "So, that proved that you are the dope of the class," Kiba said. "That's enough," Iruka said angrily. "The only reason why Naruto is a dead last is because we added up your scores for the 4 years of the academy, where we add them up to make the grade, and since Naruto only joined us today, we only have his exam scores. If he would have been here for the 4 years, I have no doubt that Naruto would have tied with Sasuke for Rookie of the Year because him and Sasuke got perfect score on the final exam." At this, Kiba just scowled because he wanted to make fun of Naruto and show him up after he defeated him in the Taijutsu battle, but he couldn't anymore. "That's okay, Iruka. I don't care about his remarks because titles like Dead Last and Rookie of the Year mean nothing to me. It means nothing in the real shinobi world. Besides, my mother, teammate, and my godfather was the dead last in his class, and he got on a team with Orochimaru and my mother, and they all became great ninjas Sanin of Konoha, and he is also the strongest one out of them all. Sasuke muttered a grunt as he agreed with Naruto, as he didn't really care what the title of the year was, as it didn't mean anything. You're only saying that to make yourself look like a less of a dope that you really are, Kiba said, as he wasn't going to let Naruto get away without a little cheap remark. Kiba cried out Aruka, as he was going to hold the boy back for detention, even if this was his last day here. Okay, said Naruto, so if I'm a dope, what that make you? If I beat you in a Taijutsu spar with only one hit, wouldn't that make you worser than the class dope? Said Naruto with a smirk on his face, as the whole class erupted in laughter as Kiba got angry, as he turned red and stared at Naruto, as Akamaru was also barking at Naruto. Once the class entered, all the students went out, as their parents were waiting for them to either congratulate them or comfort them if they fail. Naruto went with Hinata out of the academy, as he told her that he will keep her company and wait till her parents come to pick her up. Hinata was blushing as she was red, as she mumbled out that he didn't have to, as she could wait by herself. But Naruto told her that the both of them are friends now, and he will gladly wait with her, making her blush even deeper. As Naruto saw mothers and fathers greeted their kids, as he couldn't help but think of his mother and his surrogate big sister Shizune, as this was the first time he had been away from them for so long. They were always there with him, as he wished that they were here. As he then noticed several of the kids pointing at him and looking at him, as the parents were getting the information who Naruto was, where many parents turned to stare at Naruto in amazement and wonder. Seeing this, Naruto quickly turned away and pretending to not notice them, as he didn't want to deal with stuff like this right now. Naruto then saw a black-haired woman with red eyes coming towards him, as he blushed a bit. As Hinata then looked up. Hello Hinata, I am sorry for keeping you waiting. As she turned to Naruto and smiled, as Naruto saw the red lipstick, which made him blush again. And who is your friend here? She asked. Hinata then stuttered out who Naruto was, as the woman's eyes widened in shock when Hinata told her who Naruto was, as she turned and introduced herself as Kunai and told him that she was Hinata's private tutor that her father has assigned him to her and escort her to and from the academy. Naruto politely bowed to Kunai, telling her that it was a pleasure to meet her, as Kunai replied and called him Senju-sama, where Naruto told her that Naruto would be fine, as she nodded in understanding and called him so. After seeing the large group of parents staring at him, Naruto decided to take his leave before he drew more attention, as he said goodbye to Hinata and Kunai. He then did the body flicker jutsu and vanished out of there, as Kunai was at surprise, as she knew that the academy didn't teach any of the students that jutsu. After a couple of hours, Sarutobi had called a meeting with almost everyone in the village, as they were all in front of the Hokage tower, where he told them all about Naruto, as none of them showed any malice or anything, as none of them knew about the 90th fox inside of him. They were happy to hear that Tsunade had a son, but wondering why he wasn't here for 12 years. As Sarutobi told them that Tsunade had fear for her child, thinking that her enemies might come after him, as they all took this without question. Later on in the evening, just outside of Konoha's walls, Naruto was traveling back into Konoha, Sarutobi had allowed Naruto to go outside to train as he announced his identity to the people so that he would not be hounded by the people of Konoha after they learned who he really was. As he reached the main gate of Konoha, Naruto sensed that someone was behind him as he then hid and looked who it was. After a minute or so, Naruto saw that the person he sensed was Kiba with Akamaru following closely behind him. Unfortunately for Naruto, Kiba had not smelled him with his supernatural nose as he was too preoccupied heading to his destination. As Kiba went past him, Naruto realized that he was carrying a scroll on his back. Naruto quickly recognized the scroll as it was the forbidden scroll of Konoha, as his mother had told him about it when she told him about his clan. Inside of the scroll was a lot of powerful jutsus. The scroll was founded by his grandfather, Hashirama. Before he founded Konoha, the scroll also contained other forbidden jutsus that were founded by Hokages over the years. Naruto knew if that scroll was ever to fall in the wrong hands or to Konoha's enemies, Konoha will certainly be destroyed. Also, Naruto wondered why Kiba stole the scroll. He was a big jerk and was arrogant and angry, but he didn't think that he was a traitor. Hence, Naruto realized that there was more to this than it appeared. But before he could go after Kiba, he sensed another person coming this way as he still was hiding in the bushes to see who it was. Soon enough, Naruto saw the Chunin Iruka going by as he was clearly chasing after Kiba. Naruto decided to take this as his chance as he followed them. As Kiba arrived at his destination point, he couldn't help but be pleased with himself as he completed the attacks that not even Sasuke or Naruto could do, as he remembered Mizuki coming up to him after the exam and told him about this forbidden scroll, and if he managed to take it, that he would get a special surprise, a A-rank jutsu, as Mizuki told him that Naruto and Sasuke tried but the both of them failed, as Kiba took this as his best opportunity to get back to Naruto after he humiliated him, so he would prove that he is the best out of the both of them, as he was able to take the scroll without anyone finding him. After a minute or two, Kiba looked out, but it wasn't Mizuki, it was Iruka. "Hey Iruka sensei, I didn't think that I would meet you here," said Kiba, still thinking that this is part of the test. "Kiba, what the hell do you think you're doing? Do you know what you just done?" Iruka said angrily. "Of course," replied Kiba with a smile. "I passed the test that not even Sasuke or Naruto was able to pass, and it was a piece of cake." Shocked and confused at Kiba's point, Iruka barely noticed a giant kunai that was coming from him from behind. He managed to dodge it, but when he turned around, he saw his best friend Mizuki. He was the one that threw the kunai at him. "Kiba, go on and get out of here. Iruka is part of the test, and he's trying to stop you, and you're not going to pass if he does. I will deal with him, and then I will catch up to you, and you can give me the scroll and you will pass," said Mizuki. Believing the story, Kiba jumped off as he told Akamaru to follow as he ran off with the forbidden scroll. From the whole thing, Naruto was watching the event from behind the trees as he quickly realized that the story that Mizuki told Kiba was a lie, and that Mizuki was a traitor and he was just using Kiba. After Kiba had left, Naruto watched Iruka ask Mizuki why. Why did he betray the village? Why? Mizuki just laughed and told him that he was never really his friend, and the only thing he wanted was to steal the forbidden scroll and he could gain power and leave this disgusting place. He also explained that he saw Kiba's grudge against Naruto and he used it and get Kiba to get the scroll. And now, I will have to kill you, he said to Iruka, and then I'll meet up with Kiba and get the scroll. And then I will kill him too, said Mizuki. Naruto got pissed as he hated traitors and people who use people for their own selfish gain. And Mizuki was both. He was on Naruto's list of people he would have no regret beating to a bloody pulp. For the next few minutes, Naruto saw both Mizuki and Iruka battle as Mizuki used a replacement jutsu with a log when Iruka tried to hit him with a kunai, as he then ran after Kiba so he could get the scroll and get the hell out of here. But Naruto secretly followed them. Naruto then came to a stop as he saw Iruka found Kiba in a small clearing. When Iruka arrived, Kiba was arguing with Akamaru as Akamaru was having concerns about this so-called test. It didn't really make any sense. When Iruka arrived, he started to talk to Kiba and convince him that Mizuki had tricked him and there was no test. After a few minutes, it looked like Iruka gotten through to Kiba and Kiba was going to go back to Konoha. Another giant shuriken was launched at Iruka, but this time he wasn't able to dodge because if he did, Kiba would have been hit and killed instantly. So he stood there and took it in his back as blood rushed down on his vest. Mizuki then jumped out of the tree as he went down to Kiba as he held out his hand. "Give me the scroll." "You lied to me," said Kiba. "I am not going to give you anything." "You're the one. There is no test. This was all a lie. You lied to me." As Mizuki started to tell him about Naruto and that there really was a test and Iruka was just trying to convince him. As Kiba just looked out of nowhere as Iruka told him to run and get out of here. As Akamaru started to bark at Kiba and told him not to trust Mizuki. As Naruto took this as his best opportunity to end this. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. And remember to go ahead and check out my second channel and enjoy. But for now, I'm out. Peace.